What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hanging Heavy. As always, I'm your boy Desecrator. And coming to you live September 20th, Friday. You know how we do this on Friday. Record this Friday night, make sure it goes up Friday at least by midnight. I love Jenny. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I can't complain. I'm feeling fine and dandy. If this is the first time you've stumbled across this show, thank you. This is Hanging Heavy, the podcast where the conversation can get as heavy as the host. And for those of you that do know what's up, this is not your first time at the rodeo. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. So yeah, let's just get into today's news. You know, normally, I start basically every episode talking about a little statistics, and why am I gonna make it any different? So for the last 7 days, I have 7 downloads. And now that's not a lot, but seeing as how I don't advertise on any social media at all, I think I'm doing not so bad. I guess with that in mind, go ahead and shout me out on your social media if you could do that. Spread the word, spread the love, let everyone know that we're out here, you know? It's not only just my friends. It's people around the world. I'm Mr. Worldwide now. So let me go ahead and spew a little statistics I got here. So these statistics are only from Podbean app, the Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and the website. So I can't, it also goes up on YouTube. I don't have those statistics for you, but maybe one day I'll learn how to do that. But as of right now, I ain't gonna do it. So from August 31st to September 20th, I have, let me see, exactly 34 downloads. And from those 34, 11 of them come from the United States. That's where this podcast is recorded, so it makes the most sense. 3 of those downloads come from the United Kingdom, across the pond. Oh, fuck, that's an Australian accent, or fucking New Zealand. Excuse me, I don't know the Queen's English. 2 downloads from fucking my brothers in the Great White North. 1 download from Down Under, Australia. 1 from the Netherlands, 1 from Norway, and 1 from Singapore. Those sound a lot like VPNs. But nevertheless, I appreciate you giving me a shot. So I like to break it down from those bigger margins as much as I can. So out of those 11 downloads from the United States, I have 3 coming from the biggest state in the country, California, with 3. I feel kind of bad because in the number 2 spot, my Michigangsters with 2 downloads. Everything else is just 1. Got 1 from Colorado, 1 from Illinois, 1 from Massachusetts, 1 from Minnesota. Ugh, what the hell was that? Excuse me, I'm ignorant. And 1 coming in 1 Texas. That's where this show is fucking birthed. So fuck you, Texas. Share the love. Now the 2 downloads from Canada, 1 of them is from Ontario and 1 of them is from the Quebec area. So again, thank you, America's Top Hat, for at least giving me a chance. And for my listeners down under, 1 download comes from Victoria. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Now I'm going to go ahead and read off my top 3 most popular episodes as to date. And of course, number 1, it's back. Spooky, Scary Skeletons. I guess I just named that episode fucking Primetime. 12 downloads. That episode is always in my 10 top most downloaded episodes. Now, I recorded that on Halloween last year, and that one's still my most fucking popular episode. So maybe I should do some more creepypastas. Maybe I should do some more scary stories. Number 4, The World's on Fire. And number 3, and they're both with 4 downloads. They're basically the same fucking percentage. But Why Hollywood Why? That one was recorded. Both of those were recorded in the ass end of August. So not too long ago. So maybe that means my newer episodes are catching on. I guess what I'm doing is working. So again, I want to thank you guys that are new here. Thank you for giving me a shot. And those of you that have stuck around through the thick and the thin. Oh, baby, I love you. I love you. Why can't we be together? Fucking love me. Excuse me, I don't know where that came from. Rich and rare. So, normally I drink while I record, so you progressively hear me get more and more drunk as the episode goes along. Now, earlier before I started, I had a glass of whiskey. A big glass, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. But I switched to drinking some Imperial Oktoberfest lagers. And the brand, you say, is the Kaiser. Now, this can fucking looks good, but the reason why I picked it up is because it's, in fact, an Oktoberfest lager. Oktoberfest lagers are probably my most sought after beer, I guess. I mean, fucking, I fell in love with the Sam Adams lager. And, that one introduced me to the Oktoberfest style of brew making. So I picked this one up. It was in a 6-pack. Cost me 13 United States dollars. And it's an 8% volume. So, excuse me, 8% APV. So today, I'm going to go ahead and I kind of had to freestyle today's episode. So, excuse me, you're going to hear me clicking and clacking and doing all that shit in the background. But from the website RT, there's this interesting article that I found, simply titled, Earth Not So Unique, ? First habitable world with water in atmosphere found using Hubble telescope. So, a group of astronomers may have found Earth's long-lost cousin, discovering the first ever habitable terrestrial planet with water in its atmosphere. And this is all according to new research using the Hubble telescope. Now, this planet is known as in the scientific term or world as K2-18b, and it's a mysterious exoplanet twice the size of Earth with 8 times its mass. But its atmosphere could help answering the burning question about the possibility of life beyond our solar system. So basically, Earth isn't the only Earth-like planet anymore. And if you thought otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. Just the mathematical fucking chance of us being the only habitable planet in the known galaxy, the galaxy is ever expanding, and we're only able to reach so far into it with our current technology. So, I mean, there's way more out there than we know. But this brings us closer to answering the fundamental question: is Earth unique? And I don't know about you guys, but that's actually a very fucking big fucking revelation. It's no longer a question of are we the only ones out here. The question is are they similar to us with the differences in our planets at this point, you know? Even if they're microbes or fucking bacteria or whatever the fuck it may be. Or fuck, maybe they're even more advanced than we are. Fuck, we don't know. We can only see the exterior of the planet. So, I mean, that's some fucking crazy ass news. So, for those of you that frequent the show, maybe you remember the story that I talked about not too long ago, about the blackest black. The color, the material, the substance, Vanta Black. Well, MIT professor Brian Wardle says the new black that they created in MIT with engineers absorbs 99.995% of visible light. Now, to put that into comparison, Vanta Black was the previous holder with that title of the blackest black, and that substance absorbs 99.96% of visible light. So, I mean, these percentages are fucking futile in the grand scheme of what the human eye can see, but scientifically, this substance is blacker than the blackest black. I took that soundbite out of my fucking soundboard. But yeah, I would have played the blackest black. Blacker than the blackest black times infinity, or whatever Nathan Explosion says. But yeah, researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology say they discovered a new black that sucks up 99.995% of visible light. And they credit much of that discovery to an MIT artist in residence, de Mustre. Excuse my pronunciation. I don't know if I said that right. But they did this process or procedure to create the darkest black with an artist. So they're not fucking bogarting who gets to use it. So the new material is currently on display in a piece of art called The Redemption of Vanity, which codes. Hold on, let me slow it down, brother. So this art piece is basically a $2 million US diamond coated in the all-consuming blackness that is this new black, and I don't think they have a name for it, but if they do, let me continue reading. The artwork yeah, okay, so it doesn't even say that there's a name for it. They just say it's blacker than Vanta Black. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's a thing. Now, this diamond it's a $2 million diamond, apparently. And if you want to look up pictures of it, go ahead and do so. It looks literally like a... I don't know. I mean, how do you describe the absence of light? Or the absence of reflection? It literally looks like a Photoshop cutout of a diamond shape on a pedestal, a gold pedestal. It looks fake in pictures. Now, if you were to put this up to something that is painted with the same substance as the background, it would disappear completely and just look like a pedestal with nothing on it. So that's fucking crazy. And I mean, the reason why they create such fucking coatings, I guess you would want to call it, is that they use it for stuff in space. Like, they use it to put on the inside of lenses of cameras and shit that they have in space, or satellites. So there's less glare or distortion in photos taken or captured by said imagers. Excuse me for trying to sound smart there, but yeah. I'm gonna move on from that. A research team unveils the Tuna Bot, the first robotic fish to keep pace with, you guessed it, a tuna. and this was done at the University of Virginia School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Mechanical engineers at the University of Virginia School of Engineering, leading a collaboration with biologists from Harvard University, have created the first robotic fish proven to mimic the speed and movements of live yellowfin tuna. So in essence, this is the first mechanical piece of machinery, or mechanical machinery, redundant much. So yeah, it's the first robot to actually be similar in movement and speed as something that is biological. So that's fucking incredible. So something that literally moves and reacts like a living organism that is completely mechanical. They did a paper called Tuna Robotics, a high-frequency experimental platform exploring the performance space of swimming fishes, and it was published September 18th in Science Robotics. The Tuna project was born out of a 5-year, 7.2 million multidisciplinary university research initiative with the U.S. Office of Naval Research. Jesus Christ. So basically they're going to use these underwater robots in a various range of applications: defense, marine resource exploration, infrastructure inspection, and recreation. I mean, so basically it's just an underwater drone the size of a fucking tuna. And it looks like a tuna in the water, and it acts like a tuna in the water. So if it's painted realistically, no one would know the difference. So that's fucking crazy. Let's see, in another fucking science is moving too fast. Scientists create a device that can mass produce human embryos. If that doesn't fucking make you shudder in terror. Scientists have invented a device that can quickly produce large numbers of living entities that resemble very primitive human embryos. Oh, yikes. Other scientists have previously created synthetic embryos, which are known as embryoids, and these entities are made by coaxing human stem cells to form structures found in very early human embryos. So questions have been raised about how similar to complete embryos they could and should be allowed to become. So I mean, that's just a question of ethics. But the fact that they can already basically build the building blocks of life itself. So if there's an image here, I'm going to go ahead and read the description of the image. These human embryo-like structures at the top were synthesized from human stem cells. They've been stained to illustrate different cell types. The image at the bottom of the embryoids is the new device that was invented to make them. And to the layman, which would be me, they're fucking very, very similar. So, I mean, you've heard about artificially inseminating women with children. That's basically the future of fucking science as we know it. That's actually kind of scary. But, fuck, I guess that's where we need to go. So, they've made this AI-powered app also that can spot skin cancer with 95% accuracy. And that's pretty cool. So it's an Android and iOS app, and it lets people track skin spots for changes over time. So if people have concerning spots, they can take a picture with their camera, and within 30 seconds of submitting this photo, people can find out if they might have a possibility of having cancer. So that's crazy. That's actually a good use for fucking smartphones. I think they're dumbing us down as a nation, as a world, really. I mean, I mostly blame the internet on top of that. But, that's neither here nor there. And with that, I must say rich and rare. So it's close to October, and I want to resurrect a segment I used to do more frequently than I have been doing. So let's dust off this and rise to the occasion. Robert William Picton, born October 26, 1949 in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, Canada. He's a former pig farmer and Canada's most prolific serial killer. He preyed on hookers and drug addicts, as they were easily forgotten and most notably not ever filed for a missing person. It started in August 1997. He picked up a local hooker and heroin addict, 24-year-old Marnie Frey, offering drugs in exchange for sex. After coitus, he turned violent, and she was never again seen. He buried parts of her body around the farm, and what was left he took to West Coast Reduction, an animal waste disposal plant. So not only did he have the appetite for sexual domination, it turned into the lust for murder. From 1995 to 1997, 21 women went missing.
He loved every bit of it. The pickup, the courtship on the street corner downtown, how much he'd pay, the killing, the dismembering. I think it was just a process he really enjoyed.
He eventually maintained friendships with these women, using them to lure other women. One of these women was named Lynn Ellingson. For several months in 1999, she lived on his property. One night, after getting high, she was awoken by a noise. She noticed a light in the slaughterhouse. So out of curiosity, she went to go see what it was. Once she cracked open the door, she saw a woman dangling by a meat hook. It was Georgina Papin, his latest victim. Lynn ran for her life, but for some reason, Willie didn't pursue her. Lynn never went to the police. So he kept on perfecting his process with his third victim, Brenda Wolf. She went onto his property to score some drugs, and again, she disappeared.
He typically bound his victims or handcuffed them and strangled some victims either with wire or with a belt.
She went to his property, as most of his victims did, unwillingly, to never be seen again. And all he did to do was to dispose of the body the way he would any animal remains. The method was filling up barrels with their body parts and dropping them off at the disposal plant. Over time, more and more women went missing from the Skid Row that was east side downtown Vancouver. Eventually, more time passed, and he had become overconfident in his method. He stopped disposing of the bodies right away, storing their heads, hands, and feet in plastic buckets that he kept in meat freezers. In November 2001, he picked up 26-year-old Mona Wilson, promising her again with free drugs and alcohol. Instead of taking her to his property where he normally took, he took to her a hidden camper where he began to have sex with her and began to beat her. After she struggled and fought back, he shot her with a .22 revolver, splattering her blood all over the camper. He never cleaned it up. In 2002, police got a tip from a truck driver that frequented Picton's farm, citing that he saw several illegal firearms. Police used this tip and were horrified with what they eventually came to find. What they weren't ready to realize is that one man was responsible for murder and the desecration of corpses.
The skulls were bisected with the reciprocating saw which he used in his slaughterhouse on the pigs.
They went in with a search for these guns, but ended up finding more than they bargained for.
There was DNA all over the farm, body parts in the form of bones and teeth and partial jawbones.
They brought him back, and during the interrogation they got nothing, as he denied and just seemed to not know what they were talking about. Hours went by, and almost after 12 hours going by, they tried to crack him in a different method. Switching their tactics, they moved him into a holding cell with another inmate. Well, he knew he was under surveillance. He had no idea that his cellmate was an undercover police officer. So he had no problem bragging to him, this newfound friend, everything.
Really? That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Big five now. Do the switch with the antifreeze, and you check yourself. You're dead in 10 minutes.
The tally of his body count, seeing as how they couldn't retrieve everybody, they estimate from 6 to 49, as he was on tape discussing his number to the undercover police department. 49. All I needed was one more. That's why I got sloppy.
This criminologist says the tape is chilling, but nothing about it is surprising.
He just looked upon this as a number, so totally depersonalized, so totally detached, so totally insensitive, so totally unempathetic, classic psychopathic personality.
Picton has never been out of jail since those police interviews of 8 years ago. He is now 60 years old and is serving a life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years, meaning he will likely die behind bars.
So, for those of you new, that was a segment I like to call Serial Killer Corner. So, the other day, I was watching this movie, and it wasn't very good. The movie that I'm talking about was The Dead Won't Die. Or was it The Dead Won't Stay Dead? Let me make sure that's exactly what it's called. It's a zombie movie with Bill Murray. The Dead Don't Die, excuse me. It's a zombie movie with fucking Bill Murray, Chloe Sevigny, Tilda Swinton, that asshole that plays fucking whatever he does in Star Wars, Adam Driver. And it started off slow, and I guess they're trying a little too hard to make it a cult movie. Sorry, Bill Murray, it was a fucking steaming pile of shit. Not even your cadence and nuance could make this movie any good. It was fucking completely boring. I had to stop watching it. I don't even know how it ended. It was that bad. So to the people that directed that movie and wrote that movie, fuck you. Yeah, I don't understand what the whole point of that was supposed to be, but I did not like it. I just like the song. I'm sorry, I have to hear it a little bit more. Sorry, that's enough of that. So let me get back on track. So I guess today I'm gonna talk about a little experience I had yesterday. So let's get into that. Whoa, that's louder than I wanted it to be. Let me go ahead and try that again. If you didn't guess by those disgusting ear-raping sounds. Oh shit, I said the R word, sorry. Food. This is gonna be my food segment. I tried the Impossible Whopper. For those of you not in the know, that's the meatless hamburger made by Impossible Meats. Another company going after the plant-based, tastes like the real deal shit. The other company that's bigger and more famous is Beyond Meat. They're plant-based again. And I went in optimistic, you know. Burger King's burgers are more meat than McDonald's. Even though McDonald's has 100% beef copywritten. There's a copyright on the fucking word, phrase, 100% beef. So they can call something 100% beef, and it's not actually 100% beef. That's the legal loophole. Welcome to America. So, the Impossible Burger, sorry for that. I can't get over this up. The Impossible Burger is actually not bad. It actually does taste like meat. I mean, the texture's a little off, but they're going for flavor, not texture, right? I would describe it as a very inexpensive hamburger taste. So if you know what cheap burger meat tastes like, that's what it goes for. So, I mean, it's not a fail. Tastes like meat. Doesn't taste like Kobe. I'm gonna guarantee that. But it tastes better than dog food. The only thing, though, is that when every restaurant's gonna be different. The one that I got mine, they burnt the edges, like the outside ring of meat, where I guess the patty itself kind of domed up in the middle. Meat burger patties that are preformed kind of tend to do that. They kind of bubble up in the middle, so you gotta weigh them down. And the burnt edges on it taste fucking... You could taste the chemicals in it. I didn't try it completely vegan because I'm not a bitch. I had some cheese on the sumbitch, trying to disguise the flavor as much as possible, you know. And 10 out of 10. I would repeat again, and I would suggest you guys go and try it. It's not as bad as it sounds. Well, I'm going over my time, seeing as how nothing really cool happened at the Area 51 meetup. It turned out to everyone just completely being bitch mode and kind of didn't do anything crazy. Yeah, that's all I got today. So hopefully you guys like the show. If you're new here, shout me out on your social media, because I don't have any. I'm too lazy to do that shit myself. I do all of this by myself, so I can't. Or I can, but I'm a little paranoid when it comes to social media. So, yeah, do me a favor. Shout out this podcast on all of your social media. You can go to the website, www.podbean.com to listen. Oh, excuse me, those are the demons in my stomach. If you don't have the Podbean app, I'd recommend you get it. It automatically notifies you when I upload. You can like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the fucking jazz there. You can listen to it on basically any phone platform, I guess. Phone, iOS, Google, tablets, that works. You find it on Apple Store, the Google Play. You can find it on Spotify, so that's a cool thing. And if not, you can always go to the YouTube. Just type in Hanging Heavy Podcast, and you'll find me there. Hopefully not in my underwear. Oh, yo. Anyway, I'm your boy Desecrator. This has been Hanging Heavy, and you have been beautiful. Much love, and rich and rare.